Greetings, all you horror heads and psychedelic priests. Horror host Trav here, coming to you live from the studio of Horrifying My Friends, with another update on recent pickups. I've been buying some Criterion stuff, some Vinegar Syndrome stuff, some stuff from Draft House Films, and I kind of wanted to talk about a few of them. This first one, is from Vinegar Syndrome, and it's called Blood Harvest. I know some of you guys are really familiar with that, but this is actually starring, I actually haven't seen this one yet, so this is actually starring Tiny Tim, and just like a quick little kind of on topic, but off topic, I'm actually a huge fan of Tiny Tim's music. I always say that his version of People Are Strange is like the best version that there is, because it's just so fucking creepy. That song is so creepy. But like, I really, really dig his music, and a lot of like if you really want to see his range and stuff, listen to his version of Earth Angel. It's really, really cool, dude. The way that he can change octaves and go up really, really high, classic Tiny Tim, and then go really low, almost like an Elvis. But anyway, so this is Blood Harvest. Tiny Tim in a kind of like a slasher movie. Jill has just returned home from college to the rural farm community where she grew up, only to discover that her parents have mysteriously vanished. Learning that her father, a banker, has become the local pariah for overseeing land foreclosures on local farmers, Jill quickly becomes the victim of a series of strange and increasingly depraved assaults, with only her childhood friend and former lover Gary and his mentally unstable brother Mervo, that's Tiny Tim, willing to believe her. Jill begins to fear for her life, all the while a stalking mass killer is abducting, torturing, and brutally killing those closest to Jill. Yeah, he does like a theme for this one, and it's just like really, really creepy, because he's like, Marvelous Mervo. But I watched the trailer and I was like, dude, I gotta get that movie. It looks so fucking sick. So yeah, that's first from Vinegar Syndrome. I'll go ahead and knock out the other Vinegar Syndrome title. So this is Hell Comes to Frogtown. Motherfucking Roddy Piper. But yeah, I'm a sucker for these like post-apocalyptic kind of like Mad Max. This was described, I think, as like Mad Max meets something else, and I was like, okay, I'm in. But this is Hell Comes to Frogtown. In a post-nuclear Holocaust wasteland, Sam Hell, that's Roddy Piper, is like most other survivors, a nomadic scavenger roaming the bombed-out remnants of the world for food and survival gear. But Sam is also harboring a major secret that even he isn't aware of. He is the last fertile man on Earth. As unexpected pregnancies are discovered, the remnants of the government decide to capture him, and with the aid of scientist Spangle, fit him with a secure chastity belt to ensure his virility is used only when needed. After learning of a group of supposed virgins who are being held captive by frog mutant savages, Sam is sent on a rescue mission to free the women and then, of course, impregnate them. Is he up for the job? You bet. And yeah, this is 80s post-apocalyptic Roddy Piper fighting frog mutants. Must buy. Okay, so those are our two Vinegar Syndrome titles. The next one is one that I'm going to probably cover for my other like spin-off podcast from Horrifying My Friends called Sleaze, but this is Miss 45. That's always been one of my favorite, covers and stuff. But this is kind of a I'll read the synopsis, but it's kind of like a revenge film in the vein of, Death Wish or whatever. This is like so up my alley. Like my dad raised me with this kind of stuff, like revenge kind of movies, like Death Wish, like the whole series of Death Wish. And as that series went along, of course, it became like a slasher movie. But yeah, this is American independent film icon Abel Ferrara's 1981 revenge thriller classic Miss 45 follows a mute garment district seamstress played by the late model actress screenwriter Zoe Lund, who, after falling victim to multiple unspeakable assaults, ignites her one-woman homicidal rampage against New York City's entire male population. But yeah, so it says combining the rabid angst of 1976's Death Wish and Roman Polanski's surreal post-traumatic repulsion. But yeah, cult film, exploitation film, right up Travis's alley. This movie's fucked up, but in my opinion, it's everyone should see this movie. In my opinion, not everyone. If you're into that kind of stuff, like Death Wish, exploitation movies and stuff, like Grindhouse type flicks, then this movie is one that you definitely need to check out. That's Miss 45. Okay, a little bit different flavor. So on the channel, on the podcast, we're going to be focusing. One thing we're going to be focusing on this year is going into a lot of horror from the past. So 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. Kind of go back to the beginning, because that's one thing that we haven't really been able to tackle on HMF. It seems like we focused on like 70s and 80s, and 70s and 80s are arguably the biggest time for horror, but I really, really want to go back and kind of check out the origins of the genre, go through some of these films. And one of these films is Haxan, a film by, that's how you say it. But this is a Criterion release from 1922, Haxan, a film by Benjamin Christensen. That cover's fucking killer, though. So, grave robbing, torture, possessed nuns, and a satanic Sabbath. Benjamin Christensen's legendary silent film uses a series of dramatic vignettes to explore the scientific hypothesis that the witches of the Middle Ages and early modern era suffered from the same ills as psychiatric patients diagnosed with hysteria in the film's own time. Far from a dry dissertation on the topic, the film itself is a witch's brew of the scary, the gross, and the darkly humorous. Christensen's mix and match approach to genre anticipates gothic horror, documentary recreation, and the essay film, making for an experience unlike anything else in the history of cinema. So, yeah, look for more of this kind of stuff, like the silent era, like Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Cat People, Carnival of Souls, Freaks, all movies that Eyes Without a Face, all movies that I really, really love, that I really want to tackle on this next year of HMF. But yeah, Haxan from Criterion. I'm really, really looking forward to covering this and, some of the older titles. Okay, last pickup. He Came from the Swamp, the William Griffin collection. I think that's how you say it, William Griffin. So this was actually one that really, really interested me. Comes with a few movies there. I believe, let's see, one, Sting of Death, The Death Curse of Tartu, Whiskey Mountain, Hook Generation, The Psychedelic Priest, The Naked Zoo, and Mako, Jaws of Death. So this is a William Griffin, from what I've read, and I haven't seen any of these, but I picked them up, just to kind of like get. This is also something that's going to be coming up in sleaze, like I've been really, really diving into exploitation films and different kinds of exploitation films and different directors that I was never aware of. And William Griffin was apparently a regional film director in Florida. He made all these for like bare bones, low budget exploitation films. And that is right up my fucking alley. So I'm really, really excited to dive into this. Maybe I'll review it for the channel or something like that. But yeah, that's the last pickup, and that's from Anchor. That's from Anchor Bay, I believe. Oh, that's from Arrow. Excuse me. That's from Arrow Films. But yeah, this set is pretty killer. The Sting of Death looks especially Danyabara-esque, as my brother and I would describe it. But yeah, so those are recent pickups. What have you guys picked up lately? I know like a lot of super legit film fans, film freaks like myself, are always buying shit like I am. So what have you guys been getting? Like Chuck Moore, a lot of my friends, Donnie, of course my brother, Andrew Ball. What have all you guys been buying? But yeah, hit me up, man. Post in the comments what all you guys have been checking out. But Sinister this weekend, so look out for that on all the socials and stuff. I'm really, really excited to get to film that and talk about that movie, because I haven't rewatched that movie in a while, And I remember it being fucking super scary. So, but anyway, have a good weekend. You guys stay safe and stay spooky.